What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Shappy, and today we're going to be talking about how to get the best beasts in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and some tips to really go grab the best beasts that you possibly can, as well as the locations as to where they are. Now, before we get too deep into it, let's talk about how you can actually tame beasts in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and why you might want to. So, first things first, in order to tame beasts, you need this ability, which is called Beast Master. It is a hunter ability, and it allows you to tame animals after you have knocked them out. Now, it's really important that you keep in mind the knock them out part, because the first time I went to tame beasts, I accidentally ended up killing them. So, there are 3 levels to this. By the 3rd level, you can tame bears. Do not try and tame animals before you actually have the skill unlocked for them. Now, in order to knock out an animal, you have a couple different options. The first option is the Spartan Kick ability. Spartan Kick ability is a lot of fun. You can recruit both enemies and animals if you knock them out doing that. However, my preferred way of knocking out an animal is actually going to be using the paralyzing arrows. So if you have Arrow Master unlocked, you can actually craft the paralyzing arrows, and then to equip them, all you need to do is just open up your bow and hit whatever your swap arrow button is. For me, that's G on the computer. And these are the arrows. Now, a couple other things that you're going to want to keep in mind. When we talk about knocking out these animals, shooting this arrow at the same bear a bunch of times is going to be a major pain. So what you're probably going to also want is this ability right here. If you use the bow ability, you deal a ton more damage to actually knock them out sooner. So just keep that in mind. You're probably going to want to use your devastating shot with the paralyzing arrow to deal the maximum amount of damage. Now, you're probably wondering, where the heck can I find these amazing legendary animals? Well, let's talk about it. So generally speaking, what you want to tame are going to be the alpha animals. And you can find these alpha animals by looking for locations on the map. If you're in the early game, you may be wondering, okay, well, Shappy, just tell me a location. A really easy one that I found is actually in Focus. If we come over here, there's a bear grotto. The closest synchronization point is the Cafiso Spring here, so you can get this alpha bear. That's actually where I'm at right this minute. Now, again, I don't necessarily have the bear taming ability unlocked just yet, and personally, I don't know that I want it, because different animals have different benefits when we talk about combat. Bears are going to deal the most damage up front, but at the same time, they also don't last very long because they're massive. They're really, really easy targets. So if you're looking at getting into a conquest battle, the bear could deal a fair bit of damage, but it's not going to be able to dodge a lot, so it'll die very quickly. Now, there are a couple other options that I really actually prefer, and that's going to be the wild leopard. So there's a wild leopard location over here in Pandora's Cove. If you tame the alpha wild leopard, which is what I currently have, from here, you will not be disappointed. Leopards are quick, and if you're riding your horse, they can follow really easily, which is also kind of nice. Personally, I like that, and they deal a ton of damage. Now, there's also a wolf that you can get, and the wolf you can get really early on. There's actually a wolf den right over here. I haven't been there yet, but there is a wolf den right over here over on Kefalonia. And so the nearest fast travel point is going to be Lightning Zeus from Mount Anos, but you can actually get a wolf here. Personally, I don't think the wolf is really going to be worth going ahead and trying to tame, especially if you could just go ahead and tame a leopard up front. Now, there are a couple other locations that you're going to want to keep in mind. The next location that you're going to want to head to is actually probably going to be this lion's den down on the bottom of the island of Delos. This is actually going to be easiest to find if you just use the Adrestia, your ship, and you go and sail down the bottom coast here. You can literally just land and go tame yourself a lion. So lions are actually what I believe to be the best alpha companions to have, because not only are they tankier than the leopards, they're also pretty quick and they double tap when they attack. So I would absolutely recommend going and getting a lion. Lions are going to be amazing as we talk about combat assistance. Now, the bigger question is going to be, why do you actually want to have a tameable animal, right? And the reason behind this is actually that it's going to make some combat against stronger enemies much, much easier. And you can always go and re-recruit the same animal. They will respawn in different locations. Here's another wolf location for you as well. So you typically want these, especially if you're going to be trying to climb up the mercenary ladder. If you're unfamiliar with this, there are different tiers of the mercenary ladder which you can be on. And when you're fighting mercenaries, sometimes they are really strong. And so you want an animal companion to help you out. This is also going to help in conquest battles as well. Now, last but not least, let's show you a Lynx location. And those are going to be all of the tameable alpha animals that you want. And let's go find one. So after some quick searching, it turns out that there actually are not alpha lynxes in the game. Now, lynx are handy because they can jump on enemies' backs in the middle of combat, but personally, I would reach for the lion or the leopard way before I reach for any lynx. If you find that your beasts are dying too quickly, there are a couple ways that you can actually make them last longer. And the first one that I believe is probably going to be the most useful is when you go and you kill legendary beasts for the quest that tells you, go kill the boar, go kill all of these other legendary beasts. One of the rewards that you will get is a blade. This blade is called the Pandora's Copus, and it will give you an engraving, which will actually make it so your beasts do 50% more damage and 100% health for those tame beasts. Now, this engraving can then be added to bows. So if you're wondering, hey, I'm not seeing this on any of my weapons, you have to go in and add it to a bow in order to get that benefit on there. Obviously, I'm just choosing to use Pandora's Copus. It's really up to you. But the objective here is make those beasts last as long as possible and deal a ton of damage. Hope this helps you out. If it does, be sure to drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button right over there. Bottom right-hand corner, hit the bell so you get notified from new episodes. Thank you all. Chappy out.